Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And today we discuss an Moser Cie Endeavour Perpetual in white gold, 40 millimeters in diameter. This watch is 11.4 millimeters thick at its center, and from lug tip to lug tip, 48.6 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. It's weighty. It has some heft to it, and with a rarely seen Moser optional deploying clasp, it's even a little bit heftier still. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. We're going to throw this watch on my wrist now. The strap is still very stiff. It hasn't been broken in, so it's pinching my wrist a little bit, distorting the impression of fit, and yet the watch fits very well. I could recommend it for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. You see down the barrel, the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist, even over the top, which exaggerates the width of the watch. The lugs are not out over the edge. It's quite flat, and with a concave bezel, it will slide underneath the cuff. A lovely looking watch and very comfortable. You can also see part of the reason for that is that the case back itself is cambered. So a little bit like a tonneau case, it arcs around the wrist. The strap's a lovely piece. Get a little bit closer for detail. See Moser factory strap, calfskin on the bottom, no crimping, no gouging, large rectangular symmetrical scale alligator leather in matte black on the top. It's a high-grade cut of the animal. Of course, those large rectangular symmetrical scales from the belly. We've got an edge that is sheer cut and lacquered for refinement with a monotone stitch, and then we've got not just a folding clasp, but one that is released by triggers. Moser Cie manufacturer. The supplier for this part, combination of polished satin with the Moser logo, and you have to press both triggers to pop it open. Other cases are machined and then hand finished, and so that's how you get this beautiful deep hollow, a concave that's mirrored with a lovely and deep inward inflection, and then you've got this vertical satination at the mid case, the curvature of the case back. The bezel is concave all the way around, but you can see it swells. It's a little bit taller at 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock here. So it's irregularly shaped. It feels almost like fluid, liquid metal drawn out while still molten and then flash frozen. I've said that for a long time about these watches, but that's always the impression I get. The dial is a very conservative silver metallic sunburst, and you can see it's got all of the cardinal features of the model. It's got the power reserve indicator, twin barrels, 7 days chronometric power reserve, absolute close to 9. It's got a small seconds display that does have a hacking seconds function. We have a very large date window. There are actually 2 discs, but instead of having side-by-side twin digits, they're actually superimposed, and I'll show you how this works. At center, the perpetual calendar system works by corresponding the month to the hours. So we have 12 hours and we have 12 months. This is February 25th. It is the second month, and then it's the 25th. Now, this system works in an odd way. If you want to hack the seconds and you pull the crown, it will not stop the seconds hand, because Andreas Streller, who designed this mechanism, designed the crown to freeze and lock in the calendar setting position. If you want to stop the movement, you have to pull it again. The idea being, if you pull the crown out, you won't accidentally desynchronize your seconds hand. You first set the calendar. It is bidirectional. Remember what I said about having 2 discs? You could see them superimposed like that. The idea is to have a huge date without having a huge watch, as a gigantic disc would necessitate a huge watch. So that's how that works. Just like that. And it's bidirectional, and there is no nighttime danger zone, so set it 24 hours a day without hazard. Another thing that's interesting is it's a manual wind watch. You can see the power reserve over at 9 o'clock. It actually winds pretty quickly. You don't have to wind this watch for 10 minutes to fully energize it. It has a fairly high gearing. That means it energizes itself pretty quickly as you turn the Moser branded crown. Rolling around to the back, you can see it also has a concave case back in addition to being cambered, and then there's a little kerf under the crown so you could dig your nail in more easily. They think of everything here. The movement's nicely decorated. It's called the HMC 341, and what's remarkable is Moser makes all the standard parts, wheels and pivots and bridges and plates, but they also make their oscillation assembly. So the assortment, as it's called, includes the 14-karat gold escape wheel and anchor, the overcoil hairspring, and then the balance, which is free sprung. Moser makes all those parts. It's very difficult to do. Not every company that is a movement manufacturer makes all of these parts. Jaeger-LeCoultre, for example, one that does not. But if you look, we've got all these parts, and they were on a platform escapement that actually lifts out as a unit. So when this goes back for service, at a regional Moser service bureau, and they are established in Europe, in Asia, in the Americas, so they can service locally, but they have a pre-serviced module that goes in already adjusted and lubricated, so your watch can come back to you faster. Now, it's free sprung, and it's got a full balance bridge, which augurs well for durability and shock resistance. The free sprung balance also allowing for very precise setting. You could see the overcoil hairspring right here with the coil that doubles back over itself. That kind of centers the mass of the hairspring in a way that allows the watch to keep very consistent time, no matter what position it is on your wrist or on your dresser at night. And the use of 14-karat gold for the escapement helps to reduce the need for lubrication. You can also see that the bridges are designed to read as a 3/4 plate, like on a vintage Moser pocket watch from the 19th or early 20th century, though you can see the bridges split for easier service. We also have 2 barrel arbors, as well as the pivot jewels of the train, set in golden chaton cups that are fixed by polished screws. And this is a nod to the way jewels used to be set, first in a precision cup, and then in the cup into the bridges and plates held by screws during the pocket watch era, when it was very difficult to directly press a jewel into a plate. You can see that we have polished screws. We have double-crested Moser stripes, distinctive of the brand. We do have beveling, although principally mechanically applied, neat, handsome, and welcome. We have satination on the bridge along with beveling, and you can see that we have satination on the wheels, including the crown wheel adjacent to the crown. In an unusual touch, the crown wheel also acts as the ratchet with the click and the click spring, preventing the barrels from running backwards. 28 jewels and comprehensively adjusted to 6 positions. A chronometer would typically be 5. 6 is truly exacting, meaning there's no junk position where the watch doesn't run well but isn't tested by the chronometer test. 6 gives inaccuracy nowhere to hide. There's a little button on the side, and that button indexes the leap year phase indicator on the caseback. Streller, who designed this mechanism for Moser, reasoned that you don't need to see that every day, so you shouldn't, and you put it on the caseback. The little button indexes it, and then the little gold index adjacent, we're currently pointing to the 2, that lets you know where you are in the leap year cycle. And it's 30 meters water resistant, which is water resistant by dress watch standards, so rain and splashes only, don't swim with it. Also worth mentioning, this kind of white gold is known as gray gold. It's a white that's white all the way through and never needs to be rhodium plated. Most industry observers and enthusiasts consider it to be the better 18-karat white gold, and so that is what Moser uses here. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.